बीजापूरगदेक्षुकर्मुकुरजापचक्राब्जपाशोत्पल व्रियग्रस्वपिशानरत्नकलशैः प्रोद्यत्कराम्भोरुवः देयो वल्लभया सपद्मकरया आश्लिष्टोज्ज्वलद्भूषया विश्वोत्पत्तिविपत्तिसंस्तुतिकरो विघ्नेश इष्टार्दतः श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं धूतीक्रमं मण्डलम् वीरान्ध्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनीमन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम् माधर्मे मधुकैटभग्निमहिषः प्राणापहारोऽध्यमे हेलानिर्मितधूम्रलोचनवधे हे चण्डमुण्डार्दिनी निःशेषीकृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसिनि संहरा सुदुरितन् दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः सद्गुरुं श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः Namaskaram. Welcome all of you for this another session on Lalita Sahasranama. And so many of you were perhaps waiting for this class because we are actually starting the Lalita Sahasranama. Though in one of the previous classes, we have spoken on the details of Lalita Sahasranam in terms of the Dhyanam. You remember I gave you like 18 fun facts on Lalita Sahasranam. I hope the students, those who attended the classes, they will be knowing. So today I'll be speaking a little bit more extended for all those students, those who are here to listen to the Lalita Amritam. So let us try to decipher the concepts by the grace of the Guru Mandalam and by her own grace itself. Because in Tamil they say, Aval Arulale Aval Tal Vanangi. This is like because of her own grace only we can worship her, it seems actually. Unless and until there is no grace of her, we cannot worship her actually. So it is because purely because of her grace, we are able to, listen to this Amritam of Parashakti. Today, I mean, we start with the Dhyanam and we explain the Dhyanam. That part is going to come in the second half. But today, let us actually listen to the Bhashyakara's theory actually. There is this very important question. Why is Devi's Upasana is associated with red color? Have you ever thought about this question? Why is the red associated with Devi? For that, we have theoretical explanation given by our Bhashyakarar Bhaskaracharya. So we are going to talk about the concept called as Lauhityam Vimarshaha. Lauhityam Vimarshaha. I will try to explain it as simple as possible so that you can understand this. In the beginning of this prapancham, that is in the beginning of the existence, there was only Parabrahmam was there. Okay? Parabrahmam, which was Nirakaram, that is Nirgunam, which didn't have any attributes. And it was completely in Shuddha Tattvam. There was no any features to it actually. There is no features, there is no movement, there is no obstruction, and it was there everywhere actually. It was filled in everywhere. Imagine a space like that. Okay. And what the theory is telling, that Parabrahmam, that Chaitanyam, had the deep desire to manifest. Correct? Its own desire. Swatantra. Just the way we all have our independence, and that is coming from where? It is coming from Sakshat, from the Parabrahman, actually. But the thing is that we have only limited independence. With that itself, we are doing so much. Just imagine there is unlimited independence there, actually. Everything, because the entire thing is belongs to that Parabrahman, the entire resources, like everything is there, actually. So just imagine the kind of independence that can be there. So this Parabrahman had this, took up this desire, wanted to manifest, actually. Before I proceed to start saying something more, I wanted to imagine something. Imagine you have a bowl of water. Okay, you have a bowl of water. It's a glass bowl. Okay, you have water in it. In that, I am going to, drop one drop of a color, any color. Just imagine within your visualization how that drop of that color is going to penetrate and spread in that white, in that, not even white, that water which is transparent, actually. Can you? All of you? Yes? Can you visualize? Can you imagine? So what is happening? There is chanchalam is there. Chanchalam means there is movement is there in the water, correct? There is dispersion of the color is happening, actually, correct? And the color is spreading into that, actually, correct? That one drop of color is completely taking over that transparency that was there, actually. That it was a bowl of water, please imagine. And the color was just one drop, actually. Are you able to understand? So this color, that was dropped into that transparent water, that's spreading out, is what is happening. It is taking a form, actually. It is taking a form. It is taking a color. It is taking a shape, actually. I asked you to imagine that water in a bowl, because otherwise, if I'll ask you without the bowl, means it is very difficult to conceptualize, actually. But imagine now, take out that bowl also, actually. So without that bowl, that water is there and that color is spreading, actually. So there is movement is there, actually. Correct? There is a movement is there. So this is the understanding that the Shastram is giving us, that when the Chaitanya Shakti, that Akanda Brahmanda Chaitanya Shakti wanted to manifest itself, then because of that, what we call, because of the chanchalam, that we cannot be, the English word perhaps can be used as disturbance. It is not actually disturbance, actually. It is the change, the manifestation perhaps is what it is doing. It is bringing out the entire change to the, what is called as the Parabrahmam that was spread everywhere, actually. That is, that something which was existing without a form is coming to a form, actually, which is nothing but Nama Rupa Bheda Tattvam, actually. Nama Rupa Bheda Tattvam. Namam means name, Bhedam means differences, Tattvam means forms, actually. Got it? Nama Rupa Bheda Tattvam. Bhedam means the differences, because it is not the same again. You understand what I'm trying to say? Imagine we all will be looking the same without any change, actually, how it will be. We all look the same. We all have the same features. We all have the same mindset. We have everything the same. Of course, she will not have the fun, right? That's the reason she did all these things. She wanted basically fun. My Gurunadhar used to say we are all TV channels for her in Sripuram. she will keep going through one channel to the other. Actually, in our TV, we have only maybe like maximum 500 channels. For her, billion channels are there. So whenever she needs some entertainment, she will just switch on any of the channels and she will watch, it seems actually. So just because of that change, actually. And this specifically, the Shastram is giving the example of the rainbow, actually. That is, sun is there. What is the idea? You all studied the rainbow effect maybe in the sixth or seventh standard, correct? In school. Sun, the sun gets obstructed by when it rains, the cloud comes and obstruct, and with the effect of the cloud and the sun opening up, the both the impact, the seven colors come out of the sun actually. But technically, even according to science, the first color that comes out is red color. Red is the first color that manifests actually. Okay, red is the first color that manifests, and that color is considered to be Vimarshaha, that is sun is transparent, that is considered to be the Brahman. And from that, the first manifestation that came, is that red color, and that red is considered to be what? That red is considered to be the manifestation. In other words, it is called as Prakashaha. And in the Sri Vidya theory, we have two main concepts. Because when I spoke about Prakashaha, immediately somebody knowing the theory will raise your eyebrow, say that Prakashaha means Shiva only, right? Vimarshaha is only Devi actually. Prakasha and Vimarsha, correct. But at the original Shakta understanding, Prakasha and Vimarsha, we will forget about Vimarsha. That Prakasha Tattvam in itself is Parashakti only actually. Brahman, because if you really wanted to again debate here, saying that if Shiva is not there, means how Shakti came, that debate we can keep continuing actually, and you can win, I can win, you can lose, I can lose, we can keep going there. But the idea is that Prakasham, that Parabrahma Chaitanyam, if that is to be example as the sun, and from the sun, when there is a mediation is happening in the sun, and the first manifestation happening is the red color, and that red is considered to be the Prakashaha, and that Prakasham is called to be the Swaroopam. Swaroopam means manifestation. It is called to be manifestation. And that is nothing but, okay, let me add a little more to this. The first color is red, and the last color in the Vibgyor, that is the rainbow, is the blackish maroon actually, the blackish maroon. So originally also it is red, and at the end also it is the red actually. So red, I mean the maroon family, you take up the maroon, the dark blackish blue and maroon, it's the same combination, it's the same color that is coming into the combination. So that the starting and the end is covered, it is covered by this thematic color that is called as red. And that red being the original first understandable manifestation in the cosmos, that was given, or the understanding of what was Devi all about. Sindhura Runa Vigraham. Got it? So the first impact to that Parabrahmam, which was Adi, Anadi, which was formless, the moment it had to take the form, that form coming into one particular aspect of manifestation, it was seemingly in this color of that red actually, that was associated deeply with Devi. And this color and this manifestation associated with it, and from there the theory coming into existence, is called as Lohityam Vimarshaha. And this is the foundation for why the Shaktaha, because this red is considered to be the foundation of that Shakti. If Shakti is to be, if Shakti has to be given a form, they say that if Dharmam has to be given a form, it is Rama actually. Ramaha Dharma Vigrahavan. If Dharmam has to come, we keep talking about Dharma. If that dharma has to come into a form, what is it? Ramaha is the Swaroopam. So similarly, if that Shakti, just like dharmam with Shakti spread everywhere, without Shakti, nothing will work. The concept of power, the idea of power, purely power, which is the driving force of everything in this manifestation, if that has to be given an understanding, that understanding is nothing but Sindhurarunam, that is the red color actually. That power is manifested as red. And that's the reason this Kunkumam has that power actually, that power, that auspiciousness, that power that we associate with Sindhura or Kunkumam is because of this reason actually. And that is the original Shakti that is running in each and every living manifestation, which is nothing but blood actually. And that's why it is not in green color, yellow color, or blue color. It is in red color. That is the foundation actually. So this is the Vyakhyana. Vyakhyana means the explanation our Shakta Parampara, our Shakta philosophy is giving why it is red actually. Why it is not any other color, why it is red. This is the typical understanding that is given to us. And moving forward, Bhashyakarar is explaining further to us this Vigraham. I've come, this Swaroopam, that is the Prakashaha Tattvaha, and that Prakasha Tattvam coming into form is called as Swaroopam, correct? This Swaroopam is further coming into what is called as becoming a Vigraham actually. Now the concept of Vigraham. Vigraham means Devi taking a form actually, a proper form. Now the manifestation has happened. Manifestation from the Chaitanyam, the manifestation. From manifestation, she's getting into a form actually. Now the moment when we talk about form, it is called as Vigraham. Vigraham. And any Vigraham, technically, according to the Shastra, has three categorization. Three importance actually. Three important categorization. What is to be called as a Vigraham? A Vigraham will not have manas. Okay? A Vigraham will not have manas. Second, a Vigraham will not have typical talking, the Vak Shakti, the way we keep, no, talking, the Vigraham will not talk actually. Correct or not? Just imagine if all the Vigrahams are going to talk. There is no talk. And the third thing, there is no Ksheenam to the Shariram. Ksheenam means like our Shariram, it is not going to be spoiled actually. It is not going to come to an end actually. If these three categories are there, that is called as a Vigraham actually. That's the reason Vigraham are made in specific Tattvam. You understand now? When anything is formed in these, when it is formed, when it is having this, then it is called as a Vigraham. So in this, we can do the Prana Pratishta with the required mantra, and we can invite the Devata to come and sit. And this Vigraham, technically, it is associated with Devi, very specifically. Okay. So like this, she is coming into an existence of Vigraham for our sake. That she is manifesting into the form of Vigraham, in which we are invoking that Chaitanyam again through the mantras, through our upasana, through our bhakti, through our shraddha. We are bringing in that Chaitanya Shakti, and we are we are doing upasana to the Murti. And this, because the manifestation was originally associated with the red or the maroonish color, red, maroon, you can put it in that same kind of an understanding. Because of that, she was considered to be Sindhuraruna Vigraham. Sindhuraruna Vigraham. Clear to all of you? Made sense? Shivaprasad, Manaslayo? You can unmute. You can just, okay, got it. Moving forward. Now the Dhyana. Sindhura-runa-vigraham trinayanam manikhyamaulispurat taranayakashekharam smitamukhi apinavakshoruham पानेभ्याम् अळिपूर्णरत्नशशकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् पराम् अम्बिकाम्. This is number one, verse number one. You can make a note because we will be talking about all these now extensively. If you moving forward, please have your Lalita Sahasranama textbook next to you so that it will be easy for me to talk about it. Next. Arunam karunataranghitakshim धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पभानचापाम् अनिमाधिभिरावृतां मयूखै रहमित्येव विभावये भवानी. This is number two. Number three. ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्थां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायदाक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसद् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां शततमभयधां भक्तनं भ्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्री. This was number three. Number four. Sakunkumavilepanam alikachumvikasturikam samandahasite kshanam shacharachapapashankusham asheshajanmohinim अरुणमाल्यां भूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेत् अम्बिकाम्. This was number four. We keep talking about a lot of uniqueness of Lalita Sahasranama. So the first immediate uniqueness that comes in the Lalita Sahasranam here is this is the only Sahasranam which has multiple dhyanams on Devi actually. A Sahasranamam is supposed to, a Sahasranamam or any stuti or any mantra should have a dhyanam on the deity on whom we are actually meditating to perform the japam, pujanam, tarpanam, marijanam, prokshanam. So these are the various, upasana paddhati that is there. But Lalita Sahasranamam has more than one japa vidhanam actually. Sorry, more than one dhyana vidhanam. And we have not one or two, we have four kinds of dhyanam actually, four different kinds of dhyanam. The first dhyanam, that is the most famous and the deep meaningful dhyanam, Arunam Karuna Sindhura Aruna Vigraham, the first four lines, Sindhura Aruna Vigraham from Saumyam Ratna Gatastrakta Charanam, that is the original dhyanam which is there in the Lalitopakyanam actually. That four lines. Now the question will come, then why did other dhyanams were written? How dare they can write it actually? Who gave them that permission actually, to write other dhyanam? Sir, the thing is, I just explained the concept of Lauhityam Vimarshaha. Bhashyakara is asking, I don't know how many people will even understand this actually. Number one, because it's such a deep concept. Talking about color manifestation, getting into disturbance, and there's no form coming into existence that was red color, and then red becoming, some form. That form is becoming that doesn't have a manas, and all these things. Like, what is this? Like, I like, is like, what is it? Like, have I really understood? How many of you have honestly understood this? Please tell me. If you can raise your hands. No, otherwise, let me not forget about those who have understood. Those who have not understood, actually. I still have doubts. ஏதோ புரிஞ்ச மாதிரி இருக்கு, ஆனா புரியாத மாதிரியும் இருக்கு. I feel I have understood, but maybe I have not understood. Maybe that is the thing. Those who are there like that, you have a long way to go. Don't worry. Because the one who is going to immediately understand, it's it's honestly tell you, it's very the sustainability is a bit difficulty here. I've understood, but maybe some doubts are there. I'm not very sure. Maybe still there is something is there, that gap. So be with that gap actually. That gap will make you to go more and more and more. And now those who have understood, you should not feel, I have understood. Is that a crime to understand this? It is not about that actually. You know, I spoke on the concept of not getting bored, correct? That will only happen unless and until you have not understood it actually. So the more you are not understanding and you have some more thoughts, questions, or patterns existing, it is very good. You will keep continuing to go further in the direction to understand more actually. So it's fine. So coming back to what I'm saying is that the original dhyanam is deeply, it is tantric in nature actually. And everybody cannot get in there actually. It is deeply tantric and it is also deeply Vedantic actually. Both a Vedantin or a tantric can keep talking about that for hours together. They can talk on that four lines actually. It seems that Bhaskaracharya spoke on 7 days on that dhyanam, it seems, continuously. 4 lines he spoke. How many days? 7 continuous days he spoke, it seems. And after speaking for 7 days also, there were people like us, it seems. ஏதோ புரிஞ்ச மாதிரி இருக்கு, but like I have understood something, but something maybe is like just after 7 days of explanation. So what they have decided over the time, the Bhashyakaras, that and not everybody is deeply involved into the tantric understanding in the early stages actually, because we are all, as Krishna has classified in the Bhagavad Gita, we are all different categories of bhaktas actually. We all have certain give and take policy. We wanted something deeply from her, XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. Actually, that maybe the last category, somebody who is deeply desiring her and doesn't want anything actually. The other day, interestingly, I had this conversation. You remember the four namas that we spoke? Annada, Vasudha, Bayapaha, correct? Yes or no? Unforgotten. What is the fourth nama that we spoke? Correct. So there was this, I wouldn't say innocent student actually, but whatever. I was having this conversation with that student, and that student is asking me, Guruji, the thing is that I need Annam and Vasudam also. But at the same time, I need Moksham also. So can I chant all the four namas together? I said, why to confuse her at the end of the day? It's better not to confuse her. Like at the present, I also openly and brutally and honestly accept maybe we are in need of Annam and Vasudam. So let's focus there, you know. At least whatever we are asking, let's have a clarity there actually. Why to, we need all the four. That is very lucrative, I understand. But like, what is the immediate thing you need? You can focus there actually. Correct or not? Yes, you tell me. You are very clear about the fact that you have issues with Annam and Vasudam. So let's focus there. Then let us see about, being Bayapaham and then Banda Vimochini, Latati. We will see there. We are still having time, maybe, we still go there actually. So it's fine. You focus there. I'm like, okay, fine. So similarly, in the Dhyanam, the four Dhyanams are there because the Bhashyakara has understood that the devotees' needs are very different actually. And not everybody can start with what the original Tatparyam or the Tattvam is talking about. Okay, so therefore, the second dhyanam which we did, the second and the third dhyanam, Chaturbahu Samanvita, Ragaswarupa Pashadya, Krodhankaran Kushojvala, Manorupekshuko Danda, Panchatanmatra Sayaka. With these namas, they have designed the dhyanam actually. That is that is the dhyanam 2 and 4. The 2 and 4 dhyanams were designed on, once again, Chaturbahu Samanvita, Ragaswarupa Pashadya, Krodhankaran Kushojvala, Manorupekshuko Danda, Panchatanmatra Sayaka. So based on these namas, the dhyanam was designed actually. The dhyanam was designed actually. Why it was designed, we will just know in a while actually. And the fourth and the third one, is actually the dhyanam again designed, but specifically to see Mahatripurasundari as Mahalakshmi actually. So here, that particular dhyanam is equivalent to the 10th Mahavidya actually. What is the 10th Mahavidya? Kamalatmika, correct. So she is seen to be Kamalatmika. Why she is seen to be Kamalatmika? I know that you are all not innocent. You know very well what I'm trying to say. Because everybody's need is the basically that money, Aishwaryam, all these things are needed. And that is what is the first attraction with which we wanted to go and stand in front of her. So therefore, this dhyanam is as equivalent to do the dhyanam of Mahatripura Sundari as Kamalatmika, actually. As Kamalatmika. Because the dhyanam itself is coming like that. If you see, Dhyayet Padmasanastam, the one who is sitting on the Padmam actually. So it starts from very explicitly, it says, but Mahatripura Sundari is actually not sitting on a lotus, basically. So that specific dhyanam was designed like this. And now Bhashyakara is giving justice to this. Because at the originally, Amma's sankalpam was that all her children have to come to her actually. She didn't say that only those who are qualified to the moksha padartham, they are only supposed to get. She didn't do this kind of a discrimination anywhere actually. Everybody is at the end of the day children. And based on what they need after knowing me, let them decide actually. Until then, let me be that, that powerhouse to them, or the attractive person for them, or somebody whom they can come and stand, whatever they wanted, let it be in those bases. So the one who really intends to cross that space and come to understand me, what I am, and then move from there, let us see whether they can reach to the higher dimensions of what I am actually. Are able to understand what I'm trying to say? So this is the justification that Bhashyakaras are giving, that not this one dhyanam was not enough. So therefore, additionally, 3 more dhyanams were added to the Lalita Sahasranamam. So there are a total of 4 dhyanams. So the bhakta, like you, me, and all of us, those who are here, We can choose, or maybe with our own interest, we can be on those spaces where we actually locate ourselves in the Lalita Sahasranamam, just the way I told you. Out of the four namas, one of our students decided to focus on Annam and Vasudam because that is the primary need now. So similarly to those dimensions, we can actually focus on Devi so that at least from there we can begin actually without confusion. Clear to all of you? Because we can't fake it to make it actually. Moksham is not fake it to make it. We have to go in a natural process towards that actually. You understand what I'm trying to say? We cannot jump it actually. Maybe we can jump it if we are really born for that actually. Otherwise, the system is laying a nice path for all of us. It's a nice highway. And the highway has various stations coming in various towns and various cities and everything coming, and we cross it. So similarly, our life stage has a various stages and we are coming there actually. If you are really intelligent, if you really wanted, you have now understood this is the destiny, then what you will do traveling on that highway, you will not waste time. You will not stop your car anywhere. You will try to reach that destination as soon as possible actually. Otherwise, you stop here and there and do sightseeing, go through all the places, waste time. Instead of reaching, if you are supposed to reach by 5 hours, means you will reach by 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, based on how you are actually doing it. That is the only thing. But ultimately, we have to reach. The road is designed like that actually. But it is the only time that we are taking with our understanding, with our efforts, and purely the grace we are attaining through this process actually. So this is the clear understanding that the Bhashyakaras are giving why these four dhyanams are given actually. So now let us come to the first dhyana. I am explaining, of course, like Bhashyaka with the lotus dust of Bhashyakara on our head. We are just explaining this. Actually, I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible. I'm not getting into the intricacies because it is deeply tantric. So basic understanding of what it means, I'm just talking about it, and I'm just going to the next dhyanam actually. Sindhuraruna Vigraham. Let me try to decipher it word by word as much as possible. Sindhuraruna Vigraham, the one who has the manifestation, the color of redness. Now you understand the redness, correct? You all have understood what is that redness, what is the concept behind it, and why it is red. Now you have understood. Yes or no? Clear? Okay. So the one who has manifested in red color, Sindhura Vigraham. Now you understand Sindhura Aruna Vigraham. Sindhuram Arunam. Arunam means what? That sun rising has manifested as red color, and that taking the form of Vigraham. You understood the definition of Vigraham also, correct? Sindhura Aruna Vigraham. Trinayanam. So how it is, immediately they are giving the features actually. Trinayanam. It is there. The manifested feature has three eyes actually. And Manikya Mauli Spurat. So Manikyam, the gem which is called as Manikyam or Marakatam, or what is called as the green emerald actually. So she is wearing a head gear that is called as the Kiritam in green color, in which is studded with the green gems or the emerald, and in that there is a Ardha Chandra is there in that crown. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Mauli Spurat Taranayaka Shekaram. Taranayaka Shekaram means Shekaram, that half moon actually. Ardha Chandra. Smita Mukim. Smita Mukim means how she is actually. Very, 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 very attractive, very beautiful actually. She's as equivalent to, if I have to put it across, as equivalent to million Miss Universe standing in front of us actually. That beauty she has actually. Million, that kind of a Smita Mukhi actually. Smita Mukhi. And how she is Apina Vakshoruham. Apina Vakshoruham means it is referring to her stanam. Stanam means the chest or the breast, and it is full of nourishment actually. It is full of nourishment, and it is It is healthy actually. Smitamukim apina vakshoruham panibhyam. Panibhyam alipurna ratna chashakam. Panibhyam Malipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Vibhratim. So she's just having two-handed manifestation. This also to be noted, because the traditional Lalita Tripurasundari, whom we understand, is actually four-handed manifestation, who has Ankusham Pashankusham on the top both hands, and then she has the Ikshudandam and the Pancha Pushpabanam in the two hands, in the bottom two hands actually. So it is not the original manifestation of Devi actually. The original manifestation of Devi is just two-handed form only, according to Lalita Pakyanam, the original Dhyanam. Panibhyam alipurna Ratna Shashakam Raktotpalam Vibrati. So in two hands, she's having what she's carrying. In one of her hand, in her right hand, she's carrying a pot which is filled with madhuhu, amritam. And this amritam has deep meaning in the Kolachara tradition, actually. What is this amritam all about and how it is invoked, why she's having, and everything has very deep meaning that can be discussed only to students, those who are initiated and those who are on the path of the Navavarna, Sri Chakra Puja, and all the other aspects we can get in there actually. But at this level, the understanding is that she's having a patram which is having madhuhu. Madhu in the Vedantic sense, the Dakshinara sense, it is honey. In the Kalachara sense, it will be equivalent to alcohol actually. That is the way the understanding will move actually, based on the tradition actually. And the other hand, she's holding a red lotus. The red lotus is not anywhere seen here. The equivalent is the pink lotus actually. The pink lotus. Some of the traditions even call this to be hibiscus, actually, the hibiscus flower. That's the reason that Rakta Pushpam is traditionally very, very auspicious to Devi, actually. Devi Upasana, that's the reason we offer the Rakta Pushpam. Rakta Pushpam is nothing but hibiscus. Anything that, even the Madhu Pushpam means the rose, actually. That is also very, very auspicious to Devi. So we offer these Rakta Pushpam, Madhu Pushpam, and all very specifically to Devi in our Upasana. So Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Shashakam Raktotpalam Vibhratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. Saumya means, again, she is, again they are emphasizing that she is she's very tender actually. She's not a very elderly woman actually, or she's neither a small girl, she's just that, what we call that sweet 16 in English we say, like, she's that young girl actually, young girl, she's with that, she's just reached that adolescent, and she's just booming in beauty actually, booming in aura actually, that we cannot even see her actually, that we like that kind of an aura she's carrying, that kind of a beauty actually, the beauty, the combination which we cannot put in words, that kind of a beauty actually, the alluring beauty actually, the entire physical features actually, to describe it, to understand it actually. So that kind of a beauty she is, and that is put into the word saumyam actually. Saumyam ratna ghatastha rakta charanam. Now this is important to us. So what she is doing, ratna ghatastha rakta charanam. So her feet, she has kept one of her feet, she has kept on the ghatam. Ghatam means here a pot actually. Ratna ghatam means a pot which is filled with gems actually. In the superficial sense, that ghatam is representing the world actually. So she has kept the world under her feet, which means what, she is Jaganmataha. She is the queen of the world actually, therefore the world is in her feet actually, she is the one who manifested this world, right? Therefore the world is in under her feet actually. She came into existence, the world came into existence, therefore that's it. So that world is where it is near her feet actually. So Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. So that why Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam, again, it has deeper meaning. As I told you, we need to get into the higher levels of the dimension to go there. So at the superficial level, now for your understanding, at the foundation level, it is a Ghatam, which means a pot, and that is equivalent to the earth, the Bhumi. So there, that kind of a manifestation, I am doing Dhyanam. And who is that? Param Ambikam. Param Ambikam, otherwise Paraiti Ambikam, the Parashaktihi. She is the Sarva Jagan Mataha, Sarva Loka Rakshini, Sarva Matar Swarupini, Sarva Mantra Swarupini, Parambika. That Parambika, I am actually meditating. So this is the first Dhyanam actually. This is the meaning of the first Dhyanam. So moving from there, the second Dhyanam actually. Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim. Let's look into that actually. Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim. Again, the Dhyanam is emphasizing because it is taken inside the Lalita Sahasranamam. So she is Arunam. Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim. Arunam means again that red color actually. She is reddish in color. And how is her personality? They're coming immediately into the personality because as I told you, 2 and 4 is very interpersonal to us actually. People like us, who we are very desperate for experiences. Like I want to see her. I want to understand how she is, what she is all about, and everything. So it is all about there actually. So the one who is that red color, what is her feature? The first not feature, personality, Karuna. They didn't say her to be Bayapaham and Raudram and all. No. Karunaha actually. She is Karuna. The first and the foremost quality of her is Karuna. Okay? Karuna. And that Karuna, how they have defined, you just see. Arunam, Karuna Tarangitakshi. That is, her Karuna is placed where in her personality. They have not placed it in her body in any specific space, in her hands, or like, because Karuna is generally, Abhaya Varada Mudra is the Karuna that Devi is giving. No. Karuna is there in her eyes, it seems actually. And that eyes is completely restless, it seems. Restless eyes, actually. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. She's going on seeing, actually. Why? Because she's waiting every micro millisecond that which child is going to understand me and going to come one step closer to me. Actually, I am just looking forward for that. The moment that child is going to decide, then I can clear all the files of the child. I am ready to do all the work, but the child has to come closer. Who is that child? So she is looking everybody. Because we are just the way we stand here, and we are all like, every star we count. So similarly for her, it is the same actually. From the world she is in, it is just stars for all of for her actually. So she's having restless eye, it seems. Restlessly, desperately, what she wants to offer? Karuna upon us actually. Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshi. And how she is now, they are coming directly into the Mahatripurasundari Swaroopam actually. Dhrita Pushpa Bhana Chapam. How she is, what she is actually? She is holding Pasham, Ankusham, and she's having a bow which is made of sugar cane, and she's having Pancha Pushpa Bhanam. Because this explanation is coming in here because she's desperately looking for us. And what she's doing, she's waiting to use all these 4 weapons, it seems actually. The Ankusham, Pasha Ankusham, the Ikshudanda, that is the sugarcane bow, and the 5 flower arrows actually. Because the moment if somebody is going to turn around her, she's going to use these weapons, because the weapons have a very special effect actually. The Ankusham and Pasha Ankusham already have explained to our students. I will explain that a little more in detail as we go further. So she used them to pull and push the student actually. The Ankusham, Pasha Ankusham has both pull and push effect. Ankusham particularly has the pull and push effect. Pasha Ankusham has the effect to cut it out. No, I told you, na, this particular student, again, we can take the same example. I have understood the concept of moksham, like, because I wanted to definitely get rid of all my relationships for sure, and I want to reach her. But as of now, I need all the basic necessities so that I can live peacefully in this life. Okay, if that is the case, what she's doing, she's letting you a little loose, actually. She's using the ankusham. Okay, go. You go little for. Then after a while, what she will do? She will use the to cut it actually. Where it is necessary, she will cut it actually. So pull and push she will do. You got it. This is her. This is why she is called as Lalita, because she loves to play this game actually with all of us. Individually, she wants to play with all of us actually. Okay, you wanted to go. You understood moksham, but you wanted to focus on. Okay, go fine. And then from there, she only has to pull. Na? So for pull, what she'll use the pash, cut it, cut and bring her back. And then moment she's understanding that you are desperate to understand her, you are trying ways and means. You wanted to find Sri Chandi Tantra Mahavidyalaya to listen to these classes. What she will do? She will put a banam on you and she will show you the class and she will show you the Zoom and she will make you to sit here to listen to her actually. Otherwise, how you are here actually? You got it? Okay. So desperately looking for us, it seems. Bhaskaracharya is saying it cannot be described as a desperation of a mother to the child. It cannot be discussed as the desperation a father has on the child, that the child should become a better individual. It cannot be even equivalent to the desperation of what a lover can have, the love on the other lover. It cannot be described on any of these are all very small, it seems, actually, in front of the desperation that she has upon us actually. Or it is, Bhaskaracharya is saying, it is the sum total permutation and combination of all the human desperateness in the purest of the purest love it can be there without expecting anything. That desperation Amba has upon us actually, because she just wants us to not suffer. She just doesn't want us to suffer, and she is not going to get anything in return by doing this. But she doesn't want us to suffer. Because of that, she is Avyaja Karuna Murti. Because if anything anybody is doing in this world, they have an expectation. Without expectation, there is no relationship is here as far as this entire existence is concerned. But only her relationship is completely unconditional, actually. And the only condition she is asking is, don't suffer, my child. I am not able to witness that you are suffering. And I cannot do anything because it is your choices you are making to suffer. I am here to help you, but you should allow me to help you. That desperation Amba has on all of us, it seems, each one of us actually. So that Amba, what she is actually, Dhritapashankusha Pushpabhana Chapam Animadhibi Avritam Mayukaihi Rahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. So, this is the form from where all the Anima, Garima, Lahima, and all the Shaktis are coming out like a Kiranam. Just the way from the sun, the Kiranam, the rays will come out from her. All the Shaktis are coming out of her actually. And why the Bhashyakaras are telling us here? Because for us to understand that, look, she is the most powerful. You are all desperately looking, I need this, I need that. You want so many things. It is time to ask her, because there is nothing which is not beyond her scope and power. She is the one who is the controller of everything. You can directly ask her. The Bhashyakara is introducing the concept to us actually. Introducing the concept to us, but still letting us to know the greatness of who she is actually. Here, Bhashyakaras are very clearly asking us to decipher, you know, What she is, I'm letting you know. What you are also, I'm letting you know. You decide what you want to ask her actually. Okay? So, anima ityadi shakti is coming out of her, and that is explained to us. And further, Bhashakara is explaining Dhyayet. Dhyayet Padmasanastam. Now, further getting deep into the iconography actually, how she is actually. Dhyayet Padmasanastam Vikasita Vadanam Padmapatraya. So, how she is holding all these weapons in her hands, and with such a feature and personality, she is seated on a lotus. And again, they are getting into the explanation of her beauty. Padmasanastam Vikasita Vadanam. Vikasita Vadanam. That is, she has a face that is beautiful. It is like a bloomed lotus, it seems actually. Okay, it is like a bloomed lotus, and her eyes, how are both her eyes? If you look into a lotus petal, the lotus petal, how it looks, it is like that kind of a shape, it seems her eyes are actually. Vikasita Vadanam Padma Patraya Takshim. Padma Patraya Takshim, the eyes. Hema Bam Pita Vastram. And moving forward, she is wearing what? Pita Vastram. Pita Vastram means here it is yellow color, but it is yellow color. She is wearing gold, which is woven as a sari actually. Literally, she is wearing we say it pattu sari, correct? Na? But that is real pattu she is wearing. Real gold sari she is wearing actually. Not the sake of name gold. It is a real gold sari she is wearing, it seems. Just imagine all the women actually. Gold, literally gold sari she's wearing. Hema bham pita vastram kara kalita lasad hema badmam varangim. And how she is wearing that? She herself is a Tanga Vigraham, that is, she herself is a Swarna Vigraham. Imagine a Swarna Vigraham adorned as Swarna Vastram actually. That beauty is coming out of her actually. And further add to that beauty how she is. Karakalitala Hema Badma Varangim Sarva Alankara Yuktam. Sarva Alankaram. Each and every part of her body is dressed with jewels, it seems. My Gurunathar will go to the extent of describing actually. That is the most beautiful part actually. That is very difficult to do it in English, honestly. And he goes in the flow of explaining. Chalam chalam ena noopuram endru sollakkoodiya kankanangal. He will explain. Chalam chalam means what? The she's wearing the anklets, with the description itself, we will be having tears in our eyes. The moment we close, we can literally visualize Devi actually. Like that, the explanation will come in actually. But of course, we have the language barrier explaining in English here. So like that, Sarva Alankara Yuktam, starting from head to toe, she is wearing jewelry to all the portions of her body, it seems actually. Sarva Alankara Yuktam Shatatam Abhayadam. This is something beautiful here, actually. She is the Maharani, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaki, Sakshat Tribhuvaneshwari, and how she is listening to her devotees when we are calling her, how she is listening. Bhaskaracharya is explaining to us, she is not sitting like this to listen to us. Tell me what? No. She's coming like this, it seems. She's Jukke Sunna in English. In Hindi, we say, she's coming in front and listening. What? Because she has that concern. Again, that is reinforced. She's coming down to listen to us, actually. She's not showing herself to be a big Maharani, Jaganmata, Parashakti, Paradevata. The moment when we are going and crying to her, what she's doing, she's desperately coming down to listen to her, actually. Sar jukke sunanut. In Tamil, we say Tala Gununji Kekardi, like she's coming down to listen to us, it seems. Just imagine the quality, actually. Imagine. We cannot even imagine, actually. We can keep imagining it, actually. Sarvalankara-yuktam shatatam abhayadam bhaktanam Brahm Bhavani. Bhaktanam Ram Bhavani. And who is she? Sri Vidya. She is Sri Vidya. Here, what is that meaning of Sri Vidya? She knows everything. She is the sum source of all the knowledge. Sri Vidya, because of that knowledge, basically in this world, if it is knowledge, means it is equal to ahankaram. Any knowledge will lead to ego as far as this world is concerned. But in her world, with her own knowledge, that entire world, the manifestation, everything is she. What it is for her, that knowledge is Shantihi. She Shantarupini, Sri Vidyam, Shantamurtim, Shantamurtim, Sakala Suranutam, Sakala Suranutam. And what she is all about? Sarva Sampat Pradhayini. Sarva Sampat means Sarva Ishwarya Pradhayini. The one who can alleviate your poverty, the one who can alleviate your distress, the one who can alleviate your pain, the one who has the power to completely transform your life. If you want all that resources that is required in this world and you want your make life better, she is the one who can grant it. Sarva Sampat Pradayini. There is nothing that which is beyond her scope. Everything is within her scope. Sakala Suranutam. Sakala Suranutam means what? Adding to that fact, Bhashyakara is saying, it is not that you don't imagine, you don't have to be embarrassed that you are the only one who is going and standing, because Bhashyakara knows that how egoistic we are actually. Yes or no? Even if it is God, means we will have ego not to go and ask actually. Why should I go? That kind of ego or that kind of hesitation. You don't have any of these things. Bhashyakara is very clearly saying, why? Because Indra the Devata, everybody standing there actually. In front of her, they are standing. So you don't have to feel bad that you are standing in front of her. Everybody is standing there in front of her like this. So you can also do that to her for all the miseries, for all the sufferings, for all the complaints that you have. This is what I am telling you. She is the one who can be the source of all the sufferings for you to end. She is the one. Sarva Sampat Pradhayini. Sakala Suranutam. Sarva Sampat Pradhayini. And the fourth dhyanam, today the time is up, and the fourth dhyanam, if I have to just give you a gist, the fourth dhyanam further describes the beauty of Prambika. What kind of, what kind of a compact, what kind of a foundation she basically uses, because of course she is like a beauty queen using, using all kinds of cosmetic. It's very clearly given her base that she applies to her face or for her entire body. Forget about the face. For the entire body, it is made up of the Kashmira Pushpam, the saffron. Actually, saffron is the found. It is grinded with a combination of certain other exotic products, and with that she applies herself. The entire body is applied with that, it seems, and over that she is applied Kasturi Tilakam, Sakunkuma Vilepanam Alika Chumbi Kasturikam, Sakunkuma Vilepanam, smeared in that beauty of the beauty product of that foundation, which is made with the saffron. Moving forward, I will continue tomorrow, and we will be talking in detail about the fourth dhyana, and we will be also deciphering Sindhuraruna Vigraha, that particular term. We will be deciphering Alipurna Ratna Shashakam. We will be talking about Rakta Gatastha Charanam, what does it mean in detail? And Animadibi Ayuda Mayukai, that entire thing we will be discussing, and also the deeper meaning of the Panchopachara Puja, which was the second class which I had to take. It will be taken along with this, how this Panchopachara Puja, what it means in the deeper sensibility and how it is offered to Devi. That we will discuss, and then we will move to the Shri Mata, Shri Maharagni. So another one class perhaps we will be going to discuss in the Dhyanam. I hope you are all enjoying this, and meditate on Devi, because there was somebody yesterday they were asking how to meditate on Devi. One of the student was asking. So today Devi has answered literally that how to meditate upon her, and we have published the notes upon this. It is already there in our social media. This I have already written an article on this, and I think you can read about this. And I will also look forward to read your reflections or whatever you have, because there's so much of thoughts that comes out actually, and it is nice to share and nice to reflect. So if you're writing any reflections, I will be personally answering those points that you are giving, because that is also mode of communicating with me directly. It is not just comments, but it is also I know that who is there in the class and how they are deeply involved and what is the conceptual understanding that they are developing. And moving forward, it will be very easy and nice to know you as you evolve in this Mahavidyalaya by the grace of Parashakti. Thank you so much. Let's finish the class with Mangalam. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते जयन्ती मङ्गला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा दात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोऽस्तुते ॐ शान्तिः 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 सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी अर्पणमस्तु तथास्तु. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. See you in the next class.
Thanks so much, Guruji. Thank
you so
you.
much, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Guruji.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Gratitude.
Thank you so much, Guru.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram. Om Shri Matre Namaha.
Om
Thank you
Sri
very much,
Matre Namaha.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Kylan, have you reached back?